Shake. High five. Sit. Okay, roll over. Good girl. You take it nice. This is ASMR with Etta. Come here. Come here. You're gonna take it nice. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren and this is Charmer of Snakes. So today I just want to kind of update you guys on what I decided to name my clown ball python. I'll go ahead and go into like Oates' backstory, and then I do have a surprise that I really want to share with y'all, so that's pretty much what this video will consist of. Alright, so if you guys remember my clown ball python, she's so cute. Alright, so I had asked you guys to give me some name suggestions, and someone said Cleopatra, and I actually really like that, so I'm probably gonna just call her Cleo, but I've decided that that is her name. So like, thank you guys for go ahead and giving me those suggestions. I always really appreciate it and like to see what y'all come up with. So yeah, this is Cleo. She's actually kind of cranky right now. When I got her out of her cage, she was hissing at me, but we worked through it and now she seems to be alright. Yeah, she seems okay. But I'll probably go ahead and put her back since she is not in the best mood. Yeah, thank you guys for helping me come up with her name. Like I said, she is Cleo. So next we're gonna talk about Oates here. I'm just gonna kind of go into his backstory and kind of tell you about like when I got him and what he's been through. So currently Oates is my largest snake that I own, size-wise currently. I believe he's a male ball python, but yeah. So his story is, I got him from Petco. He was a hatchling. Usually at Petco, like if their snakes aren't feeding, they don't sell them to people. But so when I got him, he wouldn't eat. He actually had snake mites. I brought it up to the person. I was like, hey, you know, I think he has snake mites. You know, like, do you have anything here that I can treat this with? And he basically told me, he's like, oh, I don't think those are snake mites. But if anything happens within 2 weeks, you can bring him back and get a refund. So essentially, you know, they sold me a sick animal, since he did have the snake mites already on him while he was there. So that's cool, but you know, it being my first snake, I really did a lot of research and educated myself and, you know, found out what the best thing was to do. So to treat the snake itself, I got this stuff called reptile spray. I'll go ahead and grab it real quick. Alright, so this is the reptile spray that I've used on him since it's technically safe to use on them. He was a younger snake, so I made sure that like, I basically made sure that he wasn't like getting sick or like affected from it, because it says not to use on like super young animals. Like, so it says do not use on animals 12 weeks and younger. You also just want to make sure you don't get it in their eyes or their mouth. So yeah, I got the reptile spray, and then I ordered Preventamite online. That took like 2 weeks to get there though. So in the meantime, I just changed his substrate over to paper towel. That way I could really document like how bad the mites were, and also doesn't give them like that perfect environment for them to like multiply and essentially like reproduce. So always put them on paper towel. That way you can track that. And like the mites also caused him not to want to eat, even though I'm pretty sure he had never eaten a meal in his life, because he literally did not care about eating whatsoever. So since he wouldn't feed, I essentially had to assist feed him. I assist fed him twice, and then that third time he eventually struck at it and was able to coil it and essentially acted like a snake. Because he was so young when I got him and so like malnourished, he was just in really rough condition, but he eventually, you know, got up to a healthy weight, and now he's probably, like I said, he's one of my bigger snakes, super healthy. He's a decent eater. Since he's kind of older now, he doesn't really want to eat once a week. He'll usually go like every other week or like once a month, depending on how big the meal is. But he has super great temperament. He's not extremely head shy. He is, you know, a ball python, so they are, you know, a little jumpy here and there. But he's definitely has a great temperament, and it's probably one of my like go-to snakes when I have people handle them, just because he is so curious, and he's actually my only ball python that's ever bit me, but it's because he was, when he was a baby, after he had been assist fed, I had hand fed him, and he missed the mouth and he had bit my hand, so that's the only time Oates has ever bit me. He's a beautiful albino. He's flexing right now with his snake muscles. But he's a super gorgeous snake with a gorgeous attitude. I love this yellow with my purple. Snake stash. But yeah, he's definitely on my list of favorite snakes that I own. But yeah, he's gorgeous. So yeah, this is Oates. That's his background story. So next, I want to talk about the snake I got at Repticon Chattanooga. So I went to Repticon. I essentially had went there to re-up on my rats, because I had run out of rats the previous week for my snakes. So I had gone there, I was looking around. I kind of wanted to price out the Brazilian rainbow boas, because it's a snake I want to add to my collection soon. So I saw a couple of those there, both around the same price range, and I was like, you know what, I don't really think I'm willing to pay that much for a snake right now. I'd rather save up and make sure that, you know, I'm financially able to take care of these animals, and whatnot. But I did see a snake there that I have been interested in lately, just because I think they're really beautiful animals, and I've really been wanting to play around with like a new species of snake, just because like, I have my ball pythons, I have my king snake. I don't really think king snakes are for me, snake-wise, just because, I don't know, just like colubrids in me, they're just not really my personality type, even though I do love my king snake. He's definitely a sassy dude, but yeah, I've just been kind of wanting to play around with some new animals lately. Like I said, I love my ball pythons. I definitely love like the python and like boas, just because they're a little bit more docile, and definitely they all kind of have like their own personalities as well. So I was at the expo and I ended up getting a boa constrictor. But it's not just any boa constrictor. This is a BCI dwarf boa constrictor. So in the wild, these boas are indigenous to Central America. The breeder specifically told me like Nicaragua, but Central America in general. So these are just slightly different than the Colombian red-tailed boas, which I really want like a Colombian red-tailed boa, honestly. But I saw this and I was just like, oh, you know, what is this? You know, I asked the breeder about it. And he said this is a dwarf boa. You know, they're different, you know, subspecies, but for the most part, they're very similar in temperament and, you know, basically like the husbandry for like its enclosure. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show him to y'all. It is a boy. And I have decided on a name already. I know usually I've been kind of asking y'all because I always like run out of creative ideas for what I should name my snakes. But so here he is. He's just a baby right now. He's 3 months old. He's super sweet already. He's really not even that head shy. He's let me like pet his head and like touch under his chin. I think he just thinks I'm like a giant tree. So when he's full grown, he's going to end up being about 4 to 5 feet max. The breeder said both of his parents are like 4 to 5 feet. Well, the female is technically just a little bit bigger just because females are usually larger in the snake world, unless it's like a certain species. But for the most part, female snakes are always larger than the male ones. So he's got a cool little tail. If he was a red-tailed boa, all those dark browns would be like a dark blood red or like maybe a brighter red, but he's got like a nice chocolatey brown. And he says as he gets bigger, the belly will kind of turn pink. But it's kind of a little pink right now. I don't know if you can tell. But I know a lot of times, like when my snakes are about to shed, like my lighter snakes, their bellies will actually turn like a pinkish color, and that's why I know like those ones are gonna shed soon. Like my blue-eyed Lucy Alaska, she actually shed this week. And she was like pink for like a week. I was like, oh, it's so cute. So yeah, the name I've decided for him is Meatloaf. That was kind of like a cute, silly, funny name. I figured I could call him like Meaty for short. If he does end up being a female, like if there was like some chance he ended up being a girl, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, your name is Meatloaf. But I think for a guy that totally works out. I don't know many women who want to be called Meatloaf, so. But I really love his temperament already. Like, so earlier today, like I check on my snakes like when I wake up and before I go to work, and then when I get home from work, and then like before I go to bed. So like before work, I was like going ahead and like feeding all my other animals. And I came in my snake room and I was like looking for him and looking for him and looking for him, and I was like, turns out that he was burrowed in his substrate. I literally took everything out of his tank just to be like, I hope he didn't escape. It's like, did I buy a boa constrictor? Because I could not find him. But then I eventually found him and I was like, oh, you're so cute. So I put him in the pocket of this shirt and I just like did the rest of my chores with him in there. He's so cute. He was like peeping his little head out and everything. He's always kind of like hard to see like in this camera. But I really want to go ahead and insert a couple pictures maybe. And definitely I'll upload some like close-up pictures so you can see like the nice details of him on my social media. So definitely make sure you check out my Instagram, which is where I post most of my stuff. Or on my Facebook page, Charmer of Snakes. So yeah, He's definitely a cutie. And like, it's crazy how like responsive boas are to movement, because like I'll move him like this way and he like doesn't take his eyes off me, and his head constantly stays fixed on me. Which I think is actually kind of cool and creepy in a way, but you know, it's just how they are. I'm super excited for him to be a big boy one day, so I can wear him around my neck and all that fun stuff. And I really want to handle him a lot and make sure his temperament stays like very calm and sweet like this. That way, you know, down the line I can handle him and have other people handle him. Yeah, all my snakes really love this light I have for my filming. They super cute. Like him and my dog, like they boop their noses together. It was the highlight of my day. Look at those markings, so cute. So yeah, he was like 75 bucks, which is pretty cheap for a snake. The rainbow boas I was looking at were like $350 and $375, but they were already like a year and a half old because they were already established. Usually the older a snake is, the more expensive it is, just because of more time, effort, and food have gone into it. So they kind of raise the price, which is totally understandable. So you can usually get hatchlings for much cheaper than the adults. Also, I like getting hatchlings just because you get to raise the snake, you get to learn kind of like its mannerisms and temperament, and really kind of lets you decide like the fate of the snake and how its attitude will be. So if you have a snake and you don't handle it a lot, it can start to become aggressive and not like being handled, or it can get stressed out when you handle it. So I really want to make sure that like I constantly handle this dude at least once, twice a week, just enough to keep it from becoming aggressive, just because when you have like these larger snakes, like yeah, he's a dwarf, but you know, razor sharp teeth on an animal are razor sharp, and it's going to hurt once he becomes super powerful, you know, a 4 or 5 foot long snake. So I'm trying to get a close-up of him. Anyway, so I really love like the eyes on the boas too. Like they're so much different than like ball python eyes. Like the line that like goes across like down his face like that, it almost like goes across her eye too. So it just like really helps them like camouflage into like their natural surroundings, like out in the wild. But I'm super stoked about this guy. He's definitely a type of animal that I've been wanting to work with lately. Like I said, I've been wanting to get into other snakes besides ball pythons. Like I eventually want to breed my ball pythons, but I really want to add other different species of snakes to my personal collection, just because you know, I think it's new and exciting to work with different animals, and I love to learn about other animals. I usually just research the animals that I own or like that I want to own, so it's pretty cool to just add another animal to my collection and be able to learn a lot about it. That way I can help educate other people who own these animals one day, or currently do, and just need some new tips or just some better information. I wish it would really focus on him better, but this is my new snake, Meatloaf. He is a boa constrictor, a dwarf BCI. So yeah, I hope you guys think he's pretty cute, because I definitely do, and definitely stay up to date with his growth and feeding and all of that. So definitely make sure y'all subscribe, follow, like, all that stupid social media stuff that makes people successful. Bye.